Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 20th of February, 2025. Coming up this episode of the Crusty Up podcast, episode 342. That's right. Votes have been purchased or bought for a fast train. That's right. Justin Trudeau and his lazy government, what's left of it, want to build a train from Quebec City to Toronto. And guess who's involved with it? I will tell you during the episode. Tisk, 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 shame on them. Oh my, that's right. Listener and viewer discretion will be advised, ladies and gentlemen, because I will swear as per, and I will make fun of leadership as we speak. All that more coming in the show. Please stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues, and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 342 of the Crusty Up podcast. Votes bought for a fast train. And this podcast is also brought to you in part by and supported by Veterans for Freedom Television. That's right, Veterans for Freedom Stand 2. And coming soon, Veterans for Freedom TV. More details will come in the future. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Hope you've had a pretty good past couple of days. I've had some busy times myself. It's been pretty damn cold. A couple of friends of mine in Britain that I've talked to, I let them know that it was nice, balmy, nice, minus 31 with a wind chill of minus 42. Oh, my. Anyhow, enough of that crap. If you like to hear what you see, click like, subscribe, share this podcast all over your social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen. So like Tyler Card said, here we go, right? So Trudeau's still on his way out, but he still has plans to make a big ass train from Quebec City to Toronto or Toronto to Quebec City. Now, you've heard me ramble on about oil in this country and how Quebec should give other resources a fair chance. Okay. But I'm basically going to summarize what this deal is from my perspective. And based on some of the articles I've read and some of the other podcasts I have seen out there, Portuguese Pal has done a great episode in that too. And I'll leave a link to his show there and what he's discovered in regards to this whole new train that's going in. It's ironic how this stuff is happening now when we're trying to get oil to market. It's amazing how this stuff is happening now when we've got looming tariffs on the horizon. We've got President of the United States, Donald Trump, who is basically threatening Canada to smarten our act up, or this is what's going to happen. Okay. Now, I've had people weigh in and say, well, it's none of his damn business how Canada runs, or he shouldn't be saying this and saying that. And yet we share the same continent. So when you think about what happens to the United States on a regular basis, it reflects up here too. Okay. And American intelligence is getting pretty fucking swift when it comes to getting things done, to finding things out. So I don't think it's a matter of Mr. Trump telling us what to do in his glory. I think it's him telling us to put up or shut up, just like any little brother or big brother would do for you in any kind of family dynamic. But that's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think in the comments and all that good stuff too once you see this episode. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you do see this premiered, please let me know where you're watching this from. I don't care where you're from. I'm not going to judge you. I have roughly maybe about 20 odd that come on when I premiere this episode, and then more people watch later. That's fine. But I'm getting a good consensus. I'm getting some Americans. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. All right. I'm getting more Canucks out there saying hello. If there's any Europeans or any Australians or anybody else for that matter who is watching the premiere, let me know. Chime in. I don't care what city you're in. Just whatever city you're in whatever country, by all means, let me know in the comments there, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, carrying on with this whole votes bought for a fast train. Now, here is an article from the National Post I will share with you, and I will just read along with you, and I'll leave this link in the comments, as always, ladies and gentlemen. This comes from yesterday, right, because it's been big, exciting news, because more progress, for us Canucks, right? Oh, my God. Infrastructure. Here we go. That's right, kid. We're going to waste more taxpayer dollars on virtue. That's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. It's got nothing to do with progress for this country. It's progress for a handful of people. I can say they block Québécois, not the Quebecers as a whole. I like the Quebecers. I'm just not a big fan of les blocs. Okay. Excuse me. So I'll read this along. And like I say, I'll leave this in the description for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Justin Trudeau announces a $3.9 billion high-speed rail between Quebec City and Toronto. There will be stops in Toronto, Peterborough, Ottawa, Montreal, Laval, Trois-Rivières, and la Ville de Quebec or Quebec City. Hey. Right? So the federal government is moving ahead with the next phase of a high-speed rail network between Quebec City and Toronto. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Wednesday. The planned rail network will be 100% electric. Okay, there's a hint and a warning right there. 100% electric. So what's the infrastructure going to be to make this train work? Okay. Span approximately 1,000 kilometers and reach speeds up to 300 kilometers an hour. There'll be stations in Toronto, Peterborough, Ottawa, Montreal, Laval, Trois-Rivières, and Quebec City. On Wednesday, Trudeau announced $3.9 billion, $3.9 billion over 6 years. 3.9 billion. Okay, I just can't stop saying billion. Starting in the 24-25 fiscal year to iron out specifics, including where the stations will be located in each city and the trajectory of the network before the final phase of the project construction can begin. Officials say it's too soon to estimate the final cost of the project or when it will be completed. So basically, they're pulling this out of their ass. Great idea, ferries coming here. Great idea, ferries coming there to do nothing but buy effing votes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Quote unquote, a reliable, efficient, high-speed rail network will be a game changer for Canadians. Trudeau told a Montreal news conference just weeks before the Liberals choose a new leader and his time as prime minister comes to an end. So another little present for the Laurentian elite, I guess, eh? Get those fucking ass clowns, right? The new rail system will be known as Alto. It will get travelers from Montreal to Toronto in just 3 hours. The announcement from Trudeau and Transport Minister Anita Anand comes after years of debate and extensive study of options to improve commuter rail service in central Canada. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Anita Anand was the defense minister who suggested they put tampons in the male washroom. Oh, Jesus Christ. The federal Conservatives were quick to jump on the length of time the Liberals have taken to move their project forward, with the shadow minister for transport calling Wednesday's announcement yet another promise with no details that would take years and $3.9 billion on planning and bureaucracy without laying a single piece of track. Okay, the Canadian Pacific Railway was completed in 4 years. This government is asking for over a decade to simply figure out what they should build, Philip Lawrence, Conservative MP, said in the statement. Okay, passenger rail service currently relies on tracks used by freight trains, limiting service frequency and often causing delays. The high-speed train network will be Canada's largest ever infrastructure project, Trudeau said. It's taken us years as a government over the course of 3 different mandates to get to this point. But we're now seeing high-speed rail as reality for Canadians, the Prime Minister said. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this article in the description for you, ladies and gentlemen, and you can decide on your own, right? Because you've heard all the rumblings about oil and oil bad, oil good, but it's good money coming here, good money there for les Blocs Québécois, and no opportunities for the rest of Quebecers as we see it, and really no opportunities for a lot of East Coast Canadians out there too. So what is this going to promote, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, what is this going to promote? So we can't build a pipeline, but we can build a rail service that will take up lots of good farmland that's needed, lots of adequate land that's good for housing, right? And everything's going to run on electricity. Gotcha. That's right. And what's going to run this electricity, ladies and gentlemen? You know? Oh, that's right. Pixie farts and unicorn farts. Gotcha.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, the episode Rail to Fail. God, that sounds so dirty, doesn't it, eh? Rail to Fail. Drop some lines in your dashboard and have yourself a good effing time. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the episode. So, as I was saying, carrying on with this whole $3.9 billion endeavor, another 6-year project, another what if. It speaks for itself. Now, get this, though. There are some people involved in this project. Okay, wait for it. Okay, just tune up the card here. Wait for who's involved in this endeavor, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, wait to see who is involved in this endeavor. Okay, you ready? Wait for it. Here we go. That's right. SNC Lavlin changing its name to Atkins Realis, the new name and new era. Now, did they not get in trouble with the prime minister before? Wasn't the prime minister in trouble being associated with him? Didn't he fire Canada's top attorney because she wouldn't win favor with those guys or push any kind of favor? Huh? Interesting, eh? Hmm. Now, I'm not going to read their bio on the whole thing. It's obviously a shady deal. Okay. Now, apparently, Air Canada has a say in this too, probably because they'll have some railway to the airport of some sort. I don't know. But this is obviously a sales pitch for Justin's buddies. SNC Lavlin changing its name to Atkins Realis. All right. So do people think we're not going to catch on? People are going to think we don't understand what's going on, or we're just too stupid to realize the effects of the wheeling and dealing and the slapping and tickling for the pickling. Right? It's self-explanatory, ladies and gentlemen. How else do we go on about this too? Okay. I could go on for hours about this deal being as corrupt as possible. Of course it is. Of course it is. Because if they really had any good intention on promoting the infrastructure in this country, they would have done it years ago. Wasn't there some kind of infrastructure bank? Anybody remember that? Wasn't there an infrastructure bank, quote unquote, that was set aside for these projects? And to the tune of what, $35 billion inside said bank? So the money would be already there if they decided to dig right now or have surveyors out there that plan this track or this course. Now, is it a super train on a monorail system? Is it a super train on a regular old train track? Right? Sure, it can employ some workers. It can employ some people in Ontario and Quebec. But look where it's based. And look who's calling the shots. That's just one company that's involved with this project, ladies and gentlemen. One company. Okay. So who is going to build the train itself? Probably Bombardier. Okay. Because they build aircraft. And no pun intended, but that Delta aircraft that went tits up there the other day. Okay. That was a Bombardier plane, you know. Sorry for the pun, but I think you catch my drift. Okay. They've also built streetcars for places in Europe and too. So, okay. I'm not going to diss Bombardier, but then the steel that you need to make the rails and the wood to make the ties and the gravel and everything and the concrete that needs to be poured for certain platforms and certain stations and everything. Where's that going to come from too? Right? You saw the article from Quebec City to Toronto. So it's obviously a Quebec brainchild, not just Justin Trudeau. Not just Mr. Trudeau. Mr. Trudeau, he couldn't fucking, coordinate a fart on his own. But I think you know what I mean. Now, I'm not dissing the people of Quebec here. So if any of my French Canadian speakers who are from La Belle Province, I am not dissing you. It is just the organization and the bureaucracy that is calling the shots in these trying times. And don't worry, we have them out here in Alberta too. So no one's dissing your province. I am dissing the bureaucracy and the foolery and the hypocrisy that's coming out of it. Okay. So it's something to think about, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to priorities in this country. Okay? Right? And I'll be right back again after this.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 342 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. That's right. Votes bought for a fast train. Now, there's rumblings about an election coming up soon. All these pollsters are talking about Carney's doing this, Carney's doing that. Just let me remind you, audience, too, that Mark Carney is not an elected official. He's basically just a placement in there, and he's got some really, really far-fetched unicorn farts of ideas to get things done. Okay? Now, he sits on the WEF. He has ties with that, and he's a banker. He's a banker. He's a banker by trade, banker by profession. And I'm not sure what he said about this project, but it must be very good. Because he might take on the flagship of this when he runs for, when he probably gets selected for Liberal leadership and then probably runs in a federal election. That would probably be his big platform. So there's probably a bunch of votes that are waiting to be bought right then and there, especially when Blarney Carney gets involved. So what's that tell you about our policies? Now, I got nothing against a fast train. I got nothing against a high-speed train. This is a big country. We should have high-speed trains all over the place, from Vancouver to Edmonton, from Edmonton to Calgary, from Edmonton across the border, from Edmonton to Regina to Saskatoon, everywhere. I think every city should be connected one way or the other with a fast rail system, right? But not worry about electricity. How about run on good, clean energy, LNG, proper gasoline, proper diesel, okay, to make these things work efficiently. Hell, make them even fucking nuclear too. It's not like you're going to have a speeding bomb coming at you. It's just a nuclear reactor that can do the effing job. There's ideas, innovations there, right? But what gets me is that this timing is not as perfect as you think, because we are in a financial crisis that's going on right now in this country, a financial endeavor that is not going to help us whatsoever. And all of a sudden, let's put some more shovels in the ground and build this. How's it going to help? How's it going to help people? That's my question. It's a great idea, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander, is it not? Or is that too passe? Right? Doesn't matter, right? Of course not. Of course not. Can have that kind of thing. So it's like I say, it's rail to fail. Chances are, let's say if we do get a new government, okay, and there is a federal election that will be called this spring, it wouldn't surprise me if the plans were canceled. It would surprise me if they carried on with said plans too, because we have a military in this country that needs a few more dollars, and we have some infrastructure and some social structuring that has to be done with our military too. Okay. And when it comes to creating these projects, creating all these wonderful things between two provinces, you have a country that needs to be defended. And it just goes to prove where the priorities are for our federal government. Right? They're not with the men and women that are willing to lay down their lives for this country. They're not with people like myself and other veterans that are fighting bureaucracy as we speak in regards to certain monies and funds and privileges that we have to go with. I'll tell you a little story, ladies and gentlemen. I signed up for the PVCRS there. Okay. And what an effing fucking runaround that was. What a shit show that was. I was thinking about getting into crane work, diesel mechanics, but I also put my foot down and I said, I want to get into writing and I want to get into creativity. I want to create stories and all this too. And in a way, they're trying to help me out, but then they're trying to put me in certain positions. And I also found out too from a little bird, that the PVCRS people that are supposed to work side by side in partnership with Veterans Affairs are owned by Loblaws. Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. And if someone finds anything else different, please let me know in the comments or via email. Let me know. But the people at PVCRS are owned and operated by Loblaws. Okay. So you have a grocery chain that's looking after the welfare of people trying to get a second career after their time in the military. Isn't that just lovely? Isn't that just fantastic? Right? You put your faith and trust in a system that's meant to fail. Now, how much shit has Loblaws been getting into the past 5 years too? They received $12 million for brand new freezers when Miss McKenna was in charge, right? Yeah. And where's the outcry over that? And now they're apparently calling the shots for PVCRS, So, correct me if I didn't pronounce it properly, whatever. Now, it has worked for some soldiers out there, some ex-soldiers, okay. But I've also heard too, paperwork, fucking paper trail, on the bus, off the bus, on the bus, off the bus. Fuck, you must just join the military again if it's going to be that much of a bureaucratic shit show, okay. So, basically, when it comes to the interests of our troops and the interests of our men and women out there, they're not looking after it properly. Okay, they're not. Right. And I would like to hear some more vets, especially some of my fellow Canadian vets out there who watch this show. Please chime in. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know some of your experiences too. Okay, just in the comments, whatever. If you don't want to send a comment, send me an email. All my contact information is in my description there too. And I include my British veteran friends, my American veteran friends out there. Please let me know on what some of the nasty experiences you've had to gone through just to get ahead somewhere. So make a long story short, I'm not going to use the PVCRS anymore. Okay, I was trying to get into diesel mechanics. They wanted to send me to God's Green Acres to train for 9 months. And it's like, well, no, you can set me up in an area where I can train 2 hours here and then drive home, to see my wife. I don't want to be away months at a fucking time. I did that when I was in the service. I don't want to do it anymore. Okay. Regardless of how great the career and how lucrative it might be, I've sacrificed enough of my psyche and my time and effort for things outside of my marriage. Okay. The last thing I want to do is pursue a job where it's going to take me away from my wife for months at a time. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. It's one thing being away if I have to sort out some family affairs, or if I do end up having a job when I work up a month here or 2 months there, that's fine. But anything more than 3 months, not a fucking chance. Okay. Pardon the swearing, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the way it is. Okay. So when it comes to our military and coming to these infrastructure things, we have to work from the ground and work it down. Okay. My suggestion here, if any conservative MP is watching this podcast, listen carefully. Okay. Listen carefully. In order to save some money, you cut from the top. No more cutting from the bottom. Look at all the government offices we have, all the bureaucratic offices that your party has promoted in Parliament when you guys were working. Okay. Cut from the top. That means cut a lot of brass. That means cut a lot of supervisors. That means cut some offices out of the spectrum, out of the endeavor, out of the governing body, out of the protecting body. All these ministries of this, ministries of that. How is it going to help anybody? Okay? Cut from the CRA. Who gives a shit what the union thinks? Okay? The union's supposed to represent the workers, not represent the union. All right? It's that simple. Right? And to any more politicians who might be watching this, which I highly doubt, but needless to say, if you are watching, like I say, cut from the top. Okay? Too many bureaucrats, too many admins, too many pencil pushers, too many bean counters, too many paper shufflers, too many people that sit in cubicles saying, oh, no, you can't do that. Oh, please. Oh, no. You got to file this way, please. If not, if you don't file it that way, oh, we won't get our pay. We won't get this. We won't get that. Snap and tickle for someone else's pickle. Fuck them. Fuck them. Right? Cut from the top. Right? Work on the foundation. Keep the foundation solid, but cut from the top. Get rid of the unnecessary weight that you don't need. Right? Because I can tell you this right now, a lot of our armed forces has always been top heavy with a lot of senior brass. Quite a few generals, quite a few lieutenant colonels. So start looking at that too. Start retiring some individuals too. Start getting rid of certain offices that just sit around and be offices all day. You know what I mean? Just get rid of them. Cut. That's all you got to do, right? Because if the federal government can promote this great endeavor for a new train, any government can promote a great endeavor to cut its losses and to start focusing on what's real in this country, the security, the identity, and longevity of what we should be, a good nation. Now, the big hockey game is on tonight. I've talked to some Americans in my comments in regards to the Four Nations Cup, and we've bantered back and forth about the fights that happened in the last big game with Canada, USA. Okay. To anybody who's going to be watching that game, don't fucking boo. Just try to be civil and be professional and try to watch some good old fucking hockey to the best of your ability. Okay. Because it's not Trump's fault to what's going on in this country right now. It's the leaders that have caused this crap. 3 years ago, don't you dare wave the Canadian flag because, well, that means you're far right. But hey, now they're all draped in the Canadian flags. You know what I mean? You see the contrast here? Well, on the bus, off the bus. What to do? Do I want to wipe? Do I want to poke? I don't know. I want someone to do it for me. Anyhow. Okay. So when you're watching the game, think about that. Okay. They're playing in Boston as far as I know. So they're probably on the ice right now as we speak. So I might catch a few minutes of that. But just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Just keep it in mind. Be civil. Be real. Okay. And just show some courtesy to each other. Canadians and Americans alike, because we've always gotten along before. Don't let this foolery, because Donald Trump says this, and then we have idiot government personnel saying that. You say what you want to say, stand by your morals and convictions, and just try to be a good fucking human being. Okay? That's all I got to say about that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyhow, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 20th of February, 2025. I do wish good things for you all out there, as always. Weather has actually gotten warmer today. So instead of it being a minus 31 Celsius, it has gone up to about a minus 12. Oh my, isn't that nice? Right? So, but still keep your warm kit handy just in case we get a little surprise from Mother Nature. keep your wits about you. Just, do what you got to do to keep things going. Thank you out there to Moose and the Loose, Portuguese Pal. Like I say, I'll leave Portuguese Pal's recent video on the S&C Lavlin and the railhead thing in my description, so you can check out the video for yourself too. Thank you to Marty up north, Radio Reaction. Paul, thank you once again for making the time cards for me. Excellent. Thank you, my friend. You're awesome. Round of applause for you. You're a good man, Paul. You're a good man, Paul. Right? And everyone else who has chimed in. Thank you. And thank you very much to my new subscribers. I am very, very grateful and I'm blessed. I keep seeing the numbers go up. So please consider donating if you can too. Donation links are in the description. You don't have to donate much. Just do what you can. Right? I'm starting to make some dollars here, but I would make a lot more if you wonderful people out there would donate your time. A good donation once a month, it will be fine, ladies and gentlemen. But if not, then that's fine too. Anyhow, like I said, I'm in Crusty, Canuck this beautiful 20th of February, 2025. Work tomorrow, so I'll be focusing all day on moving snow and probably moving some barley. Yay. But that's the joy of working with cattle, ladies and gentlemen. So little kids out there can have nice some greasy cheeseburgers and you can have a lovely steak. Oh, wouldn't that be nice, eh? If I can afford a steak again. Anyhow, like I say, look after your friends and loved ones. Do what you can. Help you out in these trying times. Try not to be dicks, especially watching the hockey game tonight. Stop booing your friends and start being a little more supportive out there. You know what I mean? And start standing up for what's right and start standing up for this country we call Canada. Democracy is not perfect, but we can make it better. And let's make it better, ladies and gentlemen. And like I always say, humanity and merit wins the day. And I'll see you sometime this weekend. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthy.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Smack my ass and call me Judy. Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.